Tandem Nomads, episode 95. Not sharing free content consistently is the same thing as not letting customers visit your store on regular opening hours. There is no portable business without consistent free content. Hello, Nomad Nation. This is your host, Amel Deregi. I am a business and marketing coach and the founder of Tandem Nomads. Tandem Nomads is the place for you to be if you're interested in building a successful portable business and thrive in your global nomadic life. This episode is designed for all of you out there who either have already a blog, a video channel, a podcast, or if you're looking to very soon start your own outlet where you can share your stories, your ideas, your advice, your experience, anything that will allow you to reach to an audience and connect with other people who might be in your situation or who are the people you want to probably start a portable business for. And probably most importantly, this episode is also for all of you that have a portable business or have a business but are not yet producing constant, valuable, free content. This episode is going to be very important for you. So in this episode, I'm going to talk to you about the importance of having consistent free content out there. Why is it so important? And I will give you some guidance of how to find constant ideas for you to build valuable and relevant content for your audience. The other thing I want to discuss in this episode is for all of you there who shy away from building content, but also sending regular newsletters to your audience, to your email list, because you're worried to bother your people. So I'm going to go deep into this, but I really want to make sure that you understand that if you provide valuable content to your audience and do it on a consistent level, you are not bothering them, but rather serving them. If you really focus on giving value rather than just selling, you will not be there to bother them. And I will show you another reason why it is so important that you get out of that mindset of thinking that you're bothering, because you will see how crucial it is going to be for you to have a portable business. Basically, my message here to you, if you want to build a successful portable business, you will not succeed at it if you do not commit to create valuable, consistent content for your business where you can share your expertise. Basically, if you refuse to build consistent content, is a little bit like a fashion brand who would refuse to have a shop where you can go and try your clothes. It's just the same thing. Yeah, basically consider your content a little bit like your store. It's the place where people can come in and see what you have to offer, try it out, and see if it makes sense to them. So if you refuse to give them access to your expertise and understand what value you can bring to them, then you will never be able to find clients. Your free content is what is going to bring you clients. Your free content is the gate of your business. So I really want to make sure that you understand that. And I will guide you here in different ways and how you can do that without feeling too salesy, without creating content that might pollute your audience's mailbox or social media feed. So I really want to help you there to feel comfortable about producing and sharing valuable content for your audience. So another point about free content and how it is so crucial to develop your business. You basically have only two choices to grow your business. Either you have a lot of money, a lot of capital to go crazy and invest in massive advertising and go all over the place to be able to reach your audience. Or you do not have that capital, and you decide instead to focus on a long-term and sustainable value-giving system through your free content. So your free content is what will allow you to actually compensate the lack of capital to be able to advertise and have a platform to reach out to your clients. So in a way, I do prefer free content rather than advertising, because you're not just selling, you're not just promoting what you're doing, but on top of it, you're really helping your audience already get value before even they become customers. So I hope I made my point here. And in order to guide you through how you can find great free content ideas, actually, before we go into that, I realize I might need to explain what free content is. So free content is any type of article, blog article, video, podcast episode, and all maybe other type of creative ideas you might have to share ideas and share your voice, share your expertise with an audience. So, for example, speaking engagement, when you do it for free, can be free content because you're teaching something to people for free, and in exchange, you're showing them your value and showing them how they could work with you. So very important to also be creative. All types of free content there's out there. Automatically, when we talk about free content, we think about blog posts and also freebies, all the downloads, for example, that I offer you for every podcast episode. That's typically a free content that I take the time to prepare for you for every episode, in order for you to be able to take action after listening to this episode. And speaking about free content, I really want to make sure that you check out the free bee that I have for you in this episode, which is basically a questionnaire where I'm going to take you through an assessment of if you already have a blog post or any type of free content, a free assessment that will help you see where do you position yourself with your content and how you can find ideas for your business of creative ideas and valuable ideas of free content. And if you don't have a business or a blog post, yes, it will still get you to ask yourself the right questions so that you can already get prepared before you even start. So to download this questionnaire, go to tandemnomads.com/95. So here is what we will cover in this episode, but also in this questionnaire. So the first thing that I'm going to take you through is all about how you build your brand through your free content. The second thing is going to be about how to define the goal of your free content. The third is going to be about how you make the difference between free content and paid content. How much good, valuable content can you give for free? And I know that a lot of you out there struggle with that boundary between free and paid content. After that, we'll also talk about some ideas of how you can brainstorm and find creative ideas for your content. I know that at some point you can get overwhelmed and don't get stuck in front of a white paper and wonder what I'm going to talk about this time. So I'm going to take you through a very easy process to be able to find those ideas. And finally, I will touch a little bit about how to make your free content convert into customers. Because at the end of the day, this is exactly why we're doing it. We want to make sure to provide our expertise for free and be able to transform and convert that free content into business and make sure to grow your portable business through more and more clients that get access to you through your free content. So we're going to cover these 5 points. I'm going to try to be as deep as possible and as quick as possible. We have a lot to cover. You can take some notes if you want, but as I said, you will be able to have all these questions here in the questionnaire on tandemnomads.com/95. Okay, speaking about content and your brand. So basically, your free content is your brand. Your content is your voice. So it's very important to be able to define what is your brand about and what is your voice about. Very important so that you do not confuse people if you take different directions with the way you position yourself with your content. So I want to give you some ideas here of how you can position your voice and your brand. And there are basically 3 types of content creators. And I want you to ask yourself which one you might be. And that will be basically your voice and the positioning of your brand. The first type of positioning in terms of content is called the sage. So the sage is a little bit like a Dalai Lama, somebody who has an expertise and a wisdom and a natural talent for something that other people really need in order to have a better quality of life or anything, or a successful business, or anything that will help people with something. So if you have like an experience and a type of wisdom, there's, I wouldn't say supernatural, but there is inhaled in you, then you might be a sage. Who knows? If you have that experience and it's already been proven and it's natural for you, that you might be the sage. And it's something that also you accumulated over the years and experience, and you have built your unique solutions. So the sage is also somebody who has built his unique solutions that are not all over the place and that other people also use. So something that's very unique. The second type is the guide. The guide is somebody who has done something first, has tested the pave, has got tangible results, and can now show the way to others. So it's pretty simple. If you have managed to do something, to achieve a goal, to build, to test a system and got real results about it, then you can become the guide who, through the free content, share that kind of valuable knowledge of how you did it and how you got results. Finally, you have the hustler. So the hustler is the one who learns by doing and shares the challenges and the wins on the way. So you might be just at the beginning of your journey and still want to kick it off. It's not because you have not gotten experience in something that you cannot try and you cannot share content and free content about it. And this is particularly dedicated to all of you there who still don't have a business and who have not gotten any results yet. Don't let that stop you. It's not because you do not have a business and already gotten results in something that you cannot start building an audience right away. People love authenticity. People love vulnerability. So if you start sharing free content about your journey and the back scenes of what you're doing while you're doing it, actually, that might be a very, very engaging way to build content, because people want to know what's happening in the background of people's stories. So think about it. Think about your situation, whether you have a business or not yet, whether you already have free content or not. Think about, where do you position yourself? Are you the sage? Are you the guide? Or are you the hustler? So that's the first thing to do when you build your content. So then I want you to question yourself, what is the real goal of what you're doing through your free content? So it's quite simple, actually. I want you to question yourself if your free content is designed to educate, is it designed to inspire, or is it designed to entertain? Free content has the sole goal to reach one of these three objectives. Sometimes it is more than one. Sometimes you're inspiring and educating at the same time. Sometimes you're educating and entertaining at the same time. So for those who have a great sense of humor, that might be it. So entertaining people can be a great way to capture their attention while you educate them or inspiring them. Actually, inspiring people is also a great way to capture them, to be able to educate them or entertain them. So think about those three categories of goals for free content: educate, inspire, entertain, and figure out where you want to position yourself. For instance, in my case, for me, education is a huge component, but I do believe that inspiration is an amazing way to be able to realize all the opportunities out there. So I do mix a lot of inspiration, education. And once in a while, when I'm in a good mood or just feel like it, I would go crazy and do some crazy videos like you may have seen recently of me sharing the back scene of creating, like, installing some shelves on my wall and redecorating my office. So that sometimes it's not too bad to just, get out of this regimented way of creating my content, and I'd sometimes like to do is go creative and go crazy. So, but I do try to focus a lot on education and use my podcast also as a vehicle to inspire you, and I hope it's working. So think about your goal. And one thing that no matter what you choose as a goal, is it educate, inspire, entertain? The most important thing that I will keep repeating probably very often is that you focus on giving value before you even start to sell. And that is the real objective of any free content, is you have to give free value, and don't be shy about giving as much as you can. And to be honest with you, when I have the feeling that I'm giving something that should be paid for, then I know that's so good that I want to share it. Like, for example, this questionnaire I'm building for you, I've built it especially for this episode, and that you can download. Honestly, that's years of experience and practice and work with my one-on-one clients that got me to build this questionnaire to help my clients find the right content for themselves. So that, in a way, it's so valuable that could be paid, but I am so focused on making sure to bring you as much value as I can through my free content, that I'm ready to do that, because I know if I can show you a minimum of results and give you a minimum of results with my free content, I know that you will reach out to me as soon as you're ready to take action and take your business to the next level. So I just want to make sure through my free content to give you some free wins every single episode. And I want you to think about that too through your content. What kind of small wins can you offer to your audience through your free content? You want to make sure that every piece of content can bring something, a transformation, can bring a result to your audience who's consuming it. If every single time you bring out a content that really provides a difference and provides a result, you can also be guaranteed that they will come back and they will open your next blog post or your next podcast or your next newsletter. So really important. If you're shy about bothering people, if you're shy about not going frequent with your newsletter, frequency is so important. If you're not consistent and frequent, it does not make sense to build any free content. So if you're shy about bothering people because you're out there all the time, then I want you to switch your mindset and just focus on giving value. If you're giving value to people, if this is all that matters to you, then people will consume it and will be happy to have you out there. So it's really important to realize that you're not bothering people. The only reason you would be bothering people is if you're putting content out there that does not make sense and that's not relevant to your audience. And you know what? People are big and are independent enough to be able to decide to unsubscribe if something bothers them. So trust your audience that they know what they want, and they will decide if it bothers them or not. You cannot allow yourself to make that choice for them, because that's not okay. So really want to make sure that you get that. Don't be shy of sharing your content. And I would say that minimum, we'll talk about it, will be every single week. So in order to deal with that, just focus on giving as much value as you can. Okay, now I want to talk about the difference between free and paid content. There's one simple way to describe it. I would tell you that free content is basically the what and the why of what you do. I'm going to give you a simple example of Tandem Nomads. So for instance, through Tandem Nomads, my free content is a lot based on what is the solution for expat partners to build a portable career. The solution is to build a portable business. And then my free content is also a lot about why is it important to build a portable business. And that's also what I do through Tandem Nomads. I'm preparing my audience with the free content to be ready to actually answer to the question how I do it. You see what I mean? So your free content is first the answers to the questions of what is your business about and why is it important for your audience. Okay, but then I would say that I also like, because if I want to really share value, I also want to show the how. And so although that's supposed to be paid content, I will always give a little bit of a sneak peek, or as much as I can actually, of the sneak peek of how to do it. For example, through all my free content, I'm showing you, for example, the 6 steps to build a portable business. If you go to my website, tandemnomads.com, you'll be able to download that free ebook. And if you go through the ebook and follow every single step, honestly, you will be able to start your own portable business. You won't need me for it. But here's the thing. So you wonder, so why are you doing it for free? Well, first of all, I'm doing it for free because I do want to show my expertise, and I want to show how I can provide value and how I can provide results. So I say, but then they don't need you anymore. Here is the catch. If you, for instance, download my free book and find out that you can do all of that by yourself, then great. I cannot be happier than that. I actually don't want to charge you for my services if out of a free guidebook, you can already implement something. That is what really matters to me at the end of the day, is that you get results. So if you can do it free, then great. But here's the thing. Although I do show you the steps, how to build a portable business, I know that a lot of you don't have that experience, so you need somebody to help you to deep dive through each of those steps and take you through it. This is where the paid content comes in. So really important to, again, give as much value as you can and prove what you do, how you do it. And then when people are ready to take action and to go to the next level, that's when they reach out to you and for your paid services. And here's the thing also that I want to make you realize the difference between free and paid content is also exactly about that. You want to attract only people who want to take action. There are people who have enough money who don't care who they spend it with. And to be honest, that's not the kind of clients I want to attract. I want to attract clients who are ready to invest in themselves and take action and actually get faster results. And that's where also the paid services come in. If, for instance, you take this free book and decide to take it step by step and follow it by the word, you will get results. But it might take you much longer than if you use my support to be able to take you through the steps. So it's all about taking action. You're basically paying to get faster results and quicker results and more in-depth support to be able to go through whatever you're showing in the free content. So just a summary of your free content. Think about what is your business about and why is it important, and build content around it. All of that is supposed to prepare your audience to get ready before even they need what you have to sell. And then about the how usually is the paid part of your services, but try to give a little bit of a taste of what the how is about so that people can really, really realize your expertise on what you do. Okay, once you've analyzed all of that, you might wonder, okay, so what kind of articles, what kind of topics am I going to write about or speak about or make a video about, or what? I know so many people who just cannot get stuck with what I'm going to write about or what I'm going to say. So here is a small, very easy system to think about. But it requires first to really, really, really know your audience. So before I give you some ideas of how to find business content ideas that are really relevant and valuable, I want you first to ask yourself, who is my audience and who is in my niche? I've been talking a lot about the importance of focusing on a small niche when you have a business, and especially when you start. It's very, very important to focus on a very, very small and precise niche. As I always say, if you try to resonate with everybody, you will resonate with nobody. I'm going to give you the example again of Tandem Nomads. I have started Tandem Nomads with the only purpose of focusing on expat partners who not only have career challenges, but who want to build a portable business. So even within the niche of expat spouses around the world, I have chosen to go even deeper in niching down my niche, focusing only on those who want to build a portable business. I do not provide any other solutions than about business. There are other people who are out there who provide to the expat partner solutions on how to write a resume, on how to find a job. This is something that I don't do anymore, at least. So I have really, and because I have focused on such a small niche, I managed to get results and become the expert in that niche. So I know that out there, I am all the time reached out because I'm the person to go to help expat partners build a portable business. And that's another aspect of my niche, is the portability of a business. So if you really, really make sure to focus on a niche, if you commit to it and you're consistent, you will be able to become the expert in that niche. If you try to target everybody, there is so much people out there who are doing the same thing as you, then you won't be able to stand out. So really think about how you can focus on a very small and specific niche. And once you do that, I want you to really understand your niche. I want you to go out there, do surveys, call them, have a coffee, organize focus groups, organize discussions. I want you to spend more time at the beginning of your business understanding the needs and the problems and the challenges of your audience than trying to sell anything. You should not be selling nothing the first year, I believe. And that's what I did actually. I spent my first year interviewing expat partners from around the world to just understand what are the challenges that they have when they move from a country to another. So make sure to do that. And once you do that, I want you to extract from everything you learn, what are the pain points that they have. So here's one thing. I want you to see the difference between problem and pain point. Every single business is out there to solve a problem or a desire. Okay. So I love to use this metaphor. I want to think of you. And for example, let's say you have the flu. Okay. And when you have the flu, you don't go to the doctor and say, hey, doctor, I have the flu. You're going to go to the doctor and say, I have a headache. I'm coughing. I can't sleep. So those symptoms are the pain points. So I want you to think about your business. What is the problem that your business solves? Example, tandem nomads. The problem is having an issue continuing a career when moving from a country to another. That's a problem. But that comes with many, many, many symptoms. For example, loss of identity, loss of confidence, money issues. Also, other pain points are, for example, the lack of time because not only they gave up their careers, but they have also the family to take care of and babies and the fact that we're on the move, expat partners are usually completely out of their support system. They don't have any support system around them. So a huge list of pain points. I could spend hours just listing them. So I really want you to sit down, think about the problem in general that you're solving, and then break it down in as many pain points as you can. And those pain points are going to be given to you if you do the research and interview the people in your niche. And that list of pain points, for example, that I gave you, confidence, money blockages, and etc., each one of those pain points can become an idea of a content and a solution that you offer to deal with that. So imagine all the ideas you can get out of just listing the pain points out there. So really, really, really great way to find creative ideas where you can provide real value through your free content. So that's the first thing that you can do to find ideas. Then think about objections also, because at some point you also want to sell. So I want you to think, first of all, obviously you want to have a clear idea of what you're selling. But once you have that, I want you to think about all the reasons why people would not want to buy from you, even if they need what you have to sell. And that's also a great way to list a bunch of ideas of content. And at the same time, while you provide value, you're actually preparing them to be ready to buy from you. Objections, for instance, in my case, is, I'm not earning money and I feel guilty spending money on myself when I have not earned that money. That's a typical objection that I have with expat partners to invest in themselves. So I make sure through my free content that they understand the importance of investing in themselves and how they can make sure to find the revenue and get their partners on board for their own growth and personal development. So that's a typical example. And there's so many other objections I can have. For example, I don't have the time. I'm too busy. I'm in the middle of a move. So a lot of ideas of content you can get out there if you just analyze what are all the reasons why people would not buy from you, even if they really believe what you do is great and they really would need it. All right. So the first one was pain point. The second one is objections. Then I want you to think about the desired results, the dreams, what people are really looking for. So I want you to when you do that market research and interviews with your niche and understand your niche, I want you to understand what is the ultimate outcome that your niche wants. For example, in Tandem Nomads, a lot of expert partners want to contribute, for example, to their family financially. They want to be able to contribute to their kids' studies. They want to be able to contribute to buying a house for the family, to contribute to the holidays, or they actually really want to make something impactful and meaningful with their life. They want to invest in creating an NGO or a business that really makes an impact and while fulfilling them. So you see, you want to know what are the dreams of your niche? What do they really want? What is the result that they want? So that's a plenty of ideas and a huge list of things that I'm sure that your audience wants. So that all can be ideas of content you can speak about. So think about it. And always when you do that, put yourself in a stand-up point where you want to give value and create aha moments, bring small wins so that people really feel that they should just grow out of your free content, that they got something out of it that they wouldn't have had if they didn't consume your free content. Very, very important. Another thing about the niche, if you're worried to niche too much and worried that you won't be able to grow your business, I really want to show you that if you focus on a niche, and know your niche so well that you can describe all the pain points, all the objections, all the desired results, you will be able to provide real results to your audience and provide real transformations. And the more you have proven the value of what you do, the more you gotten clients, the more your niche is going to grow naturally. For instance, in my case, I have been focusing a lot on expert partners, but today I'm helping it's becoming now half of my clients are actually not only expert partners. A lot of them, what is common to everybody who's listening to Tandem Nomads, and I think you're out there, is this global minded spirit. This is the one thing that I realized that all my clients have. They're all global or international in a way and want to build the freedom and a business that's portable, allows them to have the lifestyle they want. So, but at the beginning, 100%, and still today, I'm still focused on expert partners, even if my niche is growing. So very, very important to focus on that. Don't be worried, because if you're succeeding, if you have proven your expertise, your niche will immediately, and your market will grow very, very naturally. Trust me on that. Okay, so far, what did we cover? We covered why it's important to have free content and why you should not shy away from it. We also talked about how to build your brand and your position through your free content. We talked about how to define the real goals of your free content. We also talked how to make the difference between free and paid content. I also gave you some ideas right now of how to brainstorm and find ideas of free content and things that you could write about. So it was pain points, objections, desired results. Before I go any further right now, I want to touch upon something that I hear a lot and that I know we all go through, that is the lack of time to be able to produce all this regular and consistent content. Because at the end of the day, we're so busy running our businesses and doing everything that's directly related to the money part, the taking care of clients or managing the admin, producing your products or your services. So all of that takes a lot of time. My invitation to you is really to make it a priority. If you do not make it a priority to build your consistent content, then it will never happen. It's pretty simple. Now, I just want to share with you a couple of tips. I could make another whole episode about this, but just a quick tip to be able to make time for this. I really want you to take your calendar and put it in your calendar, the regular dates and times where you will be focusing on creating content, where you will not allow yourself to put any other appointment. For instance, you choose to do it every Thursday from 4 to 6 is the time where you only do content. this is a simple tip that can already help you just make it happen. It's pretty simple. If you want to achieve something in your life, be it content or something else, nothing will happen in your life if you don't put it in your calendar. It's as simple as that. So make sure to put it in your calendar. And if at some point you get overwhelmed, you have to cancel that for some very important reason, don't cancel it for no reason. Then immediately when you cancel that spot that you planned for content production, make sure to reschedule that time in your calendar immediately before even you cancel and put something else instead. So that's my first tip to you. Make it a priority. And second, put it in your calendar. And third, I want you to also think about this system that's called batching that really works very well. And I've been teaching this to my clients, is to actually take 1 week a month where you focus as a major priority on producing at least 3 to 5 pieces of content that will cover at least 3 or 5 weeks. So that has turned to really work very well, the system of batching. And I really encourage you to do that. If you can just block few days where you don't do anything else and just producing one piece of content after the other, so that all you have to do then is to, publish it and make it roll while you take care of your business and all the rest. So just very quick tips. I could talk a lot about it, but basically, if just to summarize it, first of all, make it a priority. Second, schedule it. And third, batch. But then what might happen as your business grows is that you might not have the time to even really be able to batch or produce on a regular moment and block a time for it. So as your business grows, it is going to be very important to learn how to delegate. It is very important that you know what part of that content production is taking most of your time. See what can you give to somebody else to do. So the ideas might be yours, but then doing the editing, doing the rewriting, doing the images and etc. is something that you might not need to do by yourself. So if you're in that stage of your business where you can afford it, where you can delegate or to a virtual assistant or an assistant, then make sure to do it, because then the time you will be able to free is the time where you're going to be able to focus on making more money. So very, very important to learn how to delegate in order to be able to produce consistent, regular, and valuable content. Okay, so now I want you to think, now that you've built all this free content out there, the most important thing is now to convert it into clients, right? You don't want to do all that work for free, for nothing, right? Obviously, you want to give value to people, but you also want to give them value enough for them to come to you as customers. Not everybody's going to become customers, but trust me, if you're consistent with it, you will be able to transform your free content into customers. So the key components of converting your free content into a business, into money, and into customers is, the first one is, I can't repeat it enough, is consistency. You want to have a frequency that's regular. I really suggest once a week if possible, once a month maximum. I mean, once a month is like the maximum you can do. And when I say once a month, it has to be the same moment. For example, Tandem Nomads is on Tuesday, every single Tuesday, every second week on Tuesdays. It's always the same time, because you and I, Nomad Nation, have a date on Tuesdays. And you know that you'll find me in your earbuds when you want to have some inspiration and get some advice on how to build your portal business. So that's very important to be there, because if you are there showing up on a regular basis, people will not forget you. I want to share with you a story with a client of mine who recently just told me, Amel, I get it. I finally get it. You've been telling me for so long how important it is for me to not shy away from going out there every single week and regularly. And I get it. I said, what do you mean by that? What happened? She said, I have 2 examples. So she shared with me these 2 examples. So the first one was the fact that she had a potential customer that she met at an event. And this person really wanted to work with her. And she said, "Oh, I'll reach out to you." And so my client sent a message, but she never answered. That person never answered the email where she offered to meet. But then she sent her the newsletter on a regular basis. And at some point, the newsletter has resonated so much with that person that person responded and say, "Hey, I know that I was willing to work with you and set up an appointment. I just got too busy, but I read this newsletter and I'm like, we really have to meet now." Imagine how the free content that was dedicated for so many people has triggered something in this person to finally take action. Really, really amazing. The second example was a friend who had never had the time to watch or look at what my client was doing. And she was like, "Oh my God." And once she received the newsletter, she finally clicked on that link and checked the website. And I'm like, "Oh my God, this is amazing what you're doing. I have so many friends who need you." And that's how she sent them recommendations. So amazing example out there. If you recognize yourself, I'm sending to you big hugs. So I just wanted to show you a typical real life experience of why consistency and not shying away of sending your newsletter on a regular basis is important, because it generates business and because it makes an impact for people. You're not there just selling, you're giving value. Okay. Number 1 is consistency to convert your content into clients. Number 2, I want to make sure that when you create free content, that you make sure that you are measuring your conversion and that you have a system to be able to know how good is your free content working, because you don't want to keep doing something if it doesn't work. So how do you figure out if it's working? So there's a lot of tools out there. The first thing, for example, on your website that you should have is Google Analytics. You should install Google Analytics. It's a free tool. If you don't know how to do it, make sure to either go on YouTube. You can find that very easily, or ask your web designer to do it for you. Install Web Analytics, and on a monthly basis, at least, I want you to follow for each blog post how many people are visiting and are clicking out there. And same for your newsletter. When you send your newsletter, make sure to look every single time how many people open your newsletter and how many people clicked on the link, because that's also another conversion. Between reading and clicking, that's a conversion. You want to measure those things all the time. Another thing to do is, for instance, like I do, I measure how efficient and valuable is my content by offering you a free guidebook or something free for every episode for you to download that I know will really help you. So this is how I know if it's valuable or not, depending on how many people download this free resource that I'm giving for every episode. So I'm measuring the conversion and the efficiency of every podcast episode by giving you something that you can really take with you and implement it for yourself. So here are some examples. Very important to first follow your numbers, check your numbers, and use all the technology out there like Google Analytics. Your newsletter mailing system has all the analytics for you out there, and build a system where you can actually even go deeper in measuring the conversion by offering for every blog or every video, offer people something that they can take action on, because you want people to take action. You cannot promise them results if they don't take action. So for instance, here, I really want to help you get results on what I'm sharing with you by downloading this free guidebook, this free questionnaire that will help you build your system. Okay, so once you do that and install all these conversion systems, there's one other thing that is so crucial to be able to convert your content into customers. And that's something that we overlook. And I have to say, I have been guilty of that for so long. I've been so busy taking care of my clients, building my free content, that I've completely dismissed a huge piece of it, which is my mailing list. Guess what, Nomad Nation? There is no portable business possible without a strong mailing list. You need to focus a few hours a week in making sure that your mailing list is constantly growing. And that's something that that I cannot in one episode show you how to do. But for instance, having free guidebooks to download to offer, that's an amazing way to be able to increase your mailing list. Because here's the thing, we have social media out there. It's such a useful tool, and there's so many things out there, but the only way for you to actually have a real relationship with your audience is through their email
address. If you don't have the email address of your prospects, of your audience, you actually don't have a real relationship with them. So it's all about building a relationship. And this is why I want you to think of your newsletter as a relationship building tool and not as an advertising tool. You don't use your newsletter as an advertising tool. Use it as a place to help, to provide value and inspire, educate. And if you do that, you're not bothering. And guess what? If somebody's on your mailing list and does not want what you do, then they will have the freedom to unsubscribe. Give the opportunity to people to decide for themselves. Don't think of yourself as somebody who can decide for them, because that's pretty obnoxious, right? So give the opportunity to people to join your mailing list. And of course, they have to opt in and they have to do it consently. Actually, we're going to talk about that. That's super important. But very, very important that you have a huge strategy and a huge focus in your portable business to grow your mailing list. Very, very important. There are a few tools for that. Every newsletter system, like for example, MailChimp, ConvertKit, Aweber, these are all tools that offer you solutions to be able to collect emails. But also, if you have WordPress or Squarespace, these are all the platforms where you can build a website. And those also have like those windows, those pop-ups, where you can actually make people have sign up to be able to download something for free. So that's another way to do it. So there's many, many tools out there. There's, for example, lead pages. So by the way, I have another freebie. I don't want to confuse you here, but if you go to tandemnomads.com, you will be able to find the free resources, all these online tools that I use to be able to grow a portable business and specifically a mailing list. Very important. But here's the thing. I really want you to realize that it's all about building a relationship. And in order to do that, you have to do it out of a place of respect. And you have to do it with consent. You cannot ask people to be on your mailing list without their consent. So for instance, if you meet a person in an event and this person gives you their business card, you are not allowed to go and just add them in your newsletter. Don't ever, ever do that. A lot of people do it, I know. That's not okay. You need to send an email to that person, thank her and give her some free value already, connect with this person by email, build a relationship, and then tell her, listen, I heard what you said. I realized that you might be struggling with this and that. I actually have a great tool for you. If you are interested, you can download it here. And by downloading it, I'll be able to send you on a regular basis some great advice and resources for you to help you with this problem. You see how to do it? Make sure that the person opts in voluntarily to your newsletter. Don't force people into it. That's the way to do it mindfully. Not refusing to do free content, not refusing to have a newsletter. The best way to respect people and not bother them is to make sure that you have their consent to do it. That's the only thing you want to do. And then you also want to, every single newsletter, make sure that they have the possibility to unsubscribe. Based on that, I want to share with you something big and huge. Something big and huge is happening in the world of portable businesses and mailing lists and free content, which is a new regulation in Europe called GDPR. This episode is aired in April 2018. So GDPR is a new law that's coming up and in practice May 25th, and that asks even more levels of consent from your mailing list, from you to have from the people who subscribe to your mailing list. So I really want you to pay attention to this. And here is the thing. I decided to make a whole episode about GDPR because if you're not aware about this, you cannot be professional in your business. We want to give value. We want to be there to be honest and mindful entrepreneurs. So for that, you and also leaders, and you will never be able to be a successful entrepreneur and leader if you're not constantly watching out for regulations out there and making sure that you're following them. So this GDPR is going to request a lot of changes in the way we do free content and the way we manage people's data. So I really want you to make sure to tune in the next episode, where we will teach you how to do it and what GDPR is all about and how it affects your content and mailing list. But I really want to see this GDPR, as we will talk about it in the next episode, as a huge opportunity for us to provide even more value, because you don't want to have a bunch of people in your mailing list who don't care about what you do. You want to have a bunch of people who care. So it's better to have a small mailing list with very, very engaging people rather than having a huge mailing list with people who don't even open it, your newsletters. So I want you to see GDPR as a huge opportunity to grow the engagement of your audience and to provide even more value. So I want you to tune in that podcast episode in 2 weeks. And so I hope that this was inspiring for you, and I got you to really think about how you can build really valuable content and why it's so crucial for your portable business. As I said, there's no portable business without free, valuable content. No way. There's no way you can do that. So if you're not ready to do that work, you can give up right now at the idea of starting a portable business. Anyhow, I'm being a bit rough here, playing tough, but I really want you to just realize how important it is. And this is why I decided to bring this podcast episode to you, to give you some guidance and help you find an easier way to be able to find inspiration and do valuable content. And so, as I said, for you to be able to just implement all this advice, you can go to tandemnomads.com/95 and you'll be able to download the questionnaire that will help you find the right ideas for you. And I can't wait to know what it did for you. So please make sure to share with me how it went and if it has helped you in any way, because as you know, this is all I am about. I want you to take action. I'm doing all of this for you to get results, free or paid. I don't care, but I just want you to have results. So I can't wait to hear from you. Make sure to download that freebie, tandemnomads.com/95, and I look forward to hearing from you. In the meantime, stay tuned to turn your challenges into great opportunities.